Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you all. I am Coach Williams, Cassandra Williams of Cassandra Williams Enterprise, your life tactician, and the founder of Wise Wives Build. And we are here for Momentum Monday. This is that time of the day where I come in, I give you that boost, that motivation, that encouragement, that little shot in the arm that you're going to need to start this week strong and end even stronger. And so today I want to talk to you about something really important that we have coming up next week, actually, February, March. We are in March, March 26th and 27th, which is our Fear Factor workshop, right? And so that's what we want to talk about today is the fear factor, right? Because many of us don't understand sometimes why we are doing what we're doing. The Bible says that the small foxes destroy the vine, right? And what happens is the small foxes are those foxes that were born inside of the vineyard. They're not coming in from the outside, they are living within. And so those are the ones that come in and tear up everything. And sometimes fear is one of those things because we're going to talk about that fear that sends you screaming down the street. There was a movie that actually was a TV show. It was a TV show that we watched growing up. I'm gonna age myself, but it was called The Fear Factor. And what happened was these contestants came on, and in order to win the money or win the prize, they had to face their biggest fears. So they would have to be in a room full of snakes. They would have to do with spiders. Whatever it was that their fear was, they would have to face that thing. And so, as we came into 2025, I began to watch as the fear factor began to play out, right? Because what I began to see was and fear is just an emotion. It really is. It's an emotion. But if undealt with, it can take over your whole life. And so I began to see fear being incited and people responding to fear. And so if we're not careful, hear me, if we're not careful, fear will take over your life. Right. And so I'm going to just give you three simple ways to know if that is happening to you. If you need to be in the Fear Factor workshop with me on next Wednesday and Thursday, it's a 2-day event where we're going to really understand. This year is all about getting an understanding. We're going to understand what fear is, how it shows up, how to overcome it, how is it a healthy thing at sometimes, all right? Because fear itself is not bad, but excessive fear is bad, right? So, how do we know that fear is even taking over our life, right? So, I'm going to give you three tips, give you an affirmation, and we're going to get out of here, okay? So, let's go. Y'all ready? Let's go. So, number one, chronic anxiety and worry. If you, for just no reason really, you are just a worry wart, right? If you are in a constant state of anxiousness, being worried about everything, you worry about your kids, you worry about your career, you just can barely catch your breath, you might be dealing with an underlying, because we want to get rid of the anxiety, we want to take the meds, we want to do everything, all of the things, but you never deal with what you're really afraid of. You never get to the root of the matter, right? You know you're anxious. You know the Bible says be anxious for nothing, right? But through prayer and supplication, make your requests known unto God. You know that, but when things happen, you can't breathe, right? So then, and once we get into this space, then we begin to avoid things, right? We have avoidance behavior where we just be like, okay, so if I just avoid the behavior, if I avoid the people, if I just lock myself in the house and stay in my little bubble, then I'll be okay. And as long as I can avoid the behavior, then guess what? This, that, or the other won't happen. And then I won't feel I won't feel the way that I'm feeling. Okay. So then we start to avoid. So if the avoidance doesn't work and we have to do it, then guess what happens? We become Patty perfect or Peter perfect. We start to flow in this place of perfectionism. We over prepare. We get into analysis paralysis where we can't do anything. We're not doing anything. We're doing everything and nothing all at the same time, right? Because listen, you can gather all the information. Some of you have gathered all the information to build that business, to start that business. You gathered all the information to write that book. You gathered to do all the things only to do nothing, because now you have all of this information and you're so inundated with information that now you don't know where to start because you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to learn. You want it to be, I want to do it one time and I want it to be absolutely perfect. And here's one thing that I've learned about that. Let me help you. And we're going to talk more about this in the Fear Factor workshop. But I want to give you this today. Think about, even let's talk about our iPhones or our Android phones. Every so many, well, probably once a month at this point, right? Or your car, there's a recall, there's an update that must be done, because guess what, you bought this device and it had flaws in it. They knew that it had flaws when they sold it to you, but they also knew that they were working on how to fix it behind the scenes. And so they do updates. That's why you have books that have revisions and, different things like that. It's like, this is the fifth edition. What happened? They went in and they made updates to the book. So I need you to look at everything that you're building as a living document, something that is going to grow. It is going to move. It's going to it's going to change. Okay? It's going to change. It's not going to be perfect. Life is not perfect. I'm sorry. I know listen, you were supposed to get married, you're supposed to have the 2.5 kids, you were supposed to have the white picket fence, everything was supposed to be great, and life, right? It That's what you wanted, that's what you thought was going to happen, and now we are here, right? We're here. It's okay. It is okay. You can survive and not be perfect. So you have to get out of that thing. Some things just have to be done, y'all. You just have to say, okay, I did it. I got the report done. Fine. If your boss comes back and they're like, okay, all of these numbers are wrong, great. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to go back in and we're going to redo it. It's okay. It's okay to make revisions. It's okay to do it again. It's okay to say, you know what? I don't even like that. I thought that was where I wanted to go, but that's not where we're going, right? So we got to come out of that of being Patty perfect or Peter perfect, right? Perfection does not exist. Nobody is perfect. Good morning, Kawania. How are you? Thanks for being here. Nobody is perfect, okay? So there is this whole thing of the fear factor, that if fear is unchecked, undealt, not dealt with, it will run your life, okay? And so here's your affirmation for today, and we're going to get out of here, okay? I am strong, I am capable, and I am worthy of embracing every opportunity that comes my way. Say that with me again. I am strong, I am capable, and I am worthy of embracing every opportunity that comes my way. I don't have to be afraid of the things that are coming. I can handle it, right? So if you are interested in coming into, if any of these hit you, if you were like, yep, that's me, coach, that's me. If you are a chronic worrier, if you exhibit Hold on one second. If you exhibit avoidance behavior, if you have a problem with wanting to be perfect, then I want you to join me in the Fear Factor workshop, which will be happening not this week, but next week, Wednesday and Thursday. You can go to www.thecassandrawilliams.com and click on workshops. We're going to do more workshops, build more spaces for you, safe spaces for you to come in and do some inner work to understand what is fear? How does it work? Because there's a such thing. It says, the Bible says, the beginning fear is the beginning of wisdom. So that means that there are some types of fear that are good for me, right? But there's also, on the flip side, there's some bad fear as well. So we need to learn how to rightly divide and to be able to understand so that fear does not rule our life. We don't want fear to rule our life, right? We want to be wise, but we don't want to be scared of cats either. Good morning, Andrea. Thanks for being here. We don't want to be scared of cats either. She said, my errors had me stuck. My errors had me stuck until I released and forgave myself. But forgiveness is one of those things you can't be afraid to do. You can't feel like that I am, right? You can't be afraid of, afraid of facing you, right? Sometimes that's what we're afraid of, is facing ourselves. They released it knowing it would update. Wow, we should release what God has given to us. That's right. We should. We have to be not be afraid. Don't be afraid to tell your story. Somebody needs your story today. Somebody needs to know, right? But sometimes we get so scared. If I tell somebody, what are they going to think of me? My image, all of these things, right? So join me for the Fear Factor workshop next week, where we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent of fear, right? Because let me tell you something. I put this up last over the weekend. Bullies thrive in fear. Bullies thrive on fear. Bullies thrive on you being afraid and that you not standing up for yourself and understanding the power, the treasure that is hidden within you. Bullies thrive on that. And so we're going to really lean into that inside of the workshop. So join me there. Go to www.thecassandrawilliams.com. There's a tab that says workshops. Click there and you can find out everything there is to know about the Fear Factor workshop. So I hope to see you in the room. Have an amazing day. This has been your Momentum Monday. I am Coach Cassandra Williams, your life tactician and the founder of Wise Wives Build. And I believe that we can start this week strong and end even stronger, that we can make some moves. All right. This is our month of action. Have an amazing, amazing week. And I will see you next Monday for Momentum Monday. Be blessed, everyone. Bye-bye.